So, welcome to the Creating Videos Base Camp. You heard that right, not boot camp. This is a base camp. This is where you start off. This is where you get all your gear, everything you need, your water, your food, your medications. Hopefully no one needs that. And you're ready to go on the hike. That is your journey with video editing. And I call it a hike because when I started about 10 years ago, which was 2012, there was nothing on video editing for us common folk. For those of us who are not in the film industry, for those of us who just want to make, a few cute videos to like surprise our friends or do something small for our small business. But, I was just 12. I didn't have a business because I'm pretty sure that would be illegal. However, I did learn quite a bit over 10 whole years of stumbling, mistakes, figuring out what worked, what didn't, trying out a bunch of courses, trying out a bunch of applications and softwares. And now I've come to you here. So, I'm sure you may have seen this video on WhatsApp, but if you haven't, let's just show the video because this will come in handy later when I will be showing you how it looks from my end. So hope your sound is up. Learning to make videos can be, to put it simply, intimidating. From the information overload on YouTube, to confusing choices for video editing software, to the complicated editing process, often with the learning curve, to equipment, lighting, theory behind filmmaking. Where do you even start? A base camp, a video editing base camp, completely online, to teach and equip you with the tools you need to start off strong. Starting off with breaking down what it means to create a video, to a walkthrough of the steps needed to get to that shiny completed professional video, to a guide on how to find the resources you need to improve on your video editing skills. I'm your presenter, Suraiya Noor Fathima, an amateur video editor and graphic designer with 10 years under my belt at teaching myself the craft of video editing. Presented by District 20 Toastmasters, you can join the base camp through Zoom on the 4th of September at 6 p.m. Kuwait, Bahrain and Iraq time and 5 p.m. Egypt time. See you there! Oh. All right, I hope everyone saw that. They were able to see that. Okay. All right, so this is the promo video that I made for today's base camp, and I wanted to do something to basically show you that it's not impossible to make a good video, and it really depends on how you view the whole process. And in fact, the actual software is about 20% of importance compared to the 80% outside of it. So it's not about the tool, it's about how you use it and how you prepare for it. And since all of us are very different, all of us have different tastes, all of us may prefer different things. I, for one, didn't prefer Adobe Premiere Pro, for example. So we may all have different tastes. This base camp acknowledges that and gives you that 80% in order to prepare and do what you would do and start off strong. So let us move on. I will shrink everyone here. Feel free to use the chat because I can see the chat. So feel free to use it. Give me your reactions. So first up, what exactly will be covered in this base camp? First, we will cover why exactly a video. What's the difference between a video and a poster, right? Next, we will show the phases of the video creation process. Yes, there are phases. And when you break down a gargantuan task as making a video into smaller and smaller tasks, it becomes much easier. And this is how I do it. I divide it into 3 phases. Phase number 1 is the ideas, brainstorming, and planning process. Phase number 2 is the filming and gathering process. And phase number 3 is the actual editing and reviewing process. So you can see how the actual editing process is just 1/3 of the whole entire process. To make a good video, you need to consider the previous 2 processes. And lastly, of course, we will have a Q&A to cover up any doubts, any queries, any questions, things of that nature. Let's move on. First up, please understand that this Basecamp is quite interactive, which means you can do either one of 2 things. You can either follow along in the mock video process. So I would love to see the chat being very active in helping me create and brainstorm for a mock video. Okay? Or if you already have a video idea in mind, follow along, do this with us so that you have some guidance as to like which way is the right way, which way may lead to roadblocks, what should you consider, things like that. So follow along, or you can do that later as well. But I would highly recommend, if you already have a video idea, follow along with this workshop. So let's get started. First up, why a video? Now, I have prepared a whiteboard for you all because I actually want your answers, and there is no right or wrong answer. Let me just, okay. The whiteboard is loading. All right, so I hope you can all see the whiteboard here. What I want you guys to do is basically choose the text box option here and start writing in the whiteboard. DT Murli, I see you in the chat. Start writing in the whiteboard as to why videos are generally better, or why a video is preferred in some cases over posters. Please, please. Please, I love to see it. It's visual, great, for better promotion. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Feel free to use the whiteboard. You can go anywhere you like. If you want to stay away from the neighbor, you can do so. You have a whole whiteboard to use. I can zoom out if you'd like. Up to you. I see some good answers already. There are no wrong answers. So just go for it. Yes, creativity, better reach in IG. IG Reels, wow. Okay, you can walk the viewer through the idea and concept. Nice, reach is better. I'm seeing a lot about reach. I'm seeing a lot about visual aids. Yes, I see also lots of lovely answers in the chat. Okay. All right. Lovely, lovely. This will actually, I will share it as a PDF later so that you can keep it. But I'm seeing some lovely, lovely answers. Okay, I'll give you about maybe 10 seconds. You can also use kinetic typography for better grasp. Oh, I love these terms. More impact, yes. Okay. All right. So to document anything. All right. So there are some great ideas here. There is, of course, a few similar ideas, one of them being that it is more visual, correct? So a video is both visual and I also noticed someone said audio too. Great catch. Video also has audio in it. You're engaging two senses at once. And it's one of the reasons why YouTube, TikTok, and Reels are just popping off the charts. They're so big just for this one reason, because it engages two senses at once. I'm seeing also so many great answers in the chat. Yes, reach is also better for this very reason. And because with TikTok blowing up, IG, Instagram wanted to also do the same. So reach is generally better when you have videos up. Same thing with YouTube Shorts. I also love this answer. You can walk the viewer through the idea or concept. It can compress large amounts of information. You can make it emotionally moving. Yes, there are several different elements that come into play when you make videos, right? It'll also generate curiosity among viewers. Pictures are better than words. More of pictures, moving objects more catchy. I've seen quite a bit of this, that moving objects, aka as Toastmaster Laika put it, kinetic typography. Anything kinetic, anything that moves around. Yes, that makes it more engaging. So wonderful on that. So I've seen so many good answers. You guys are doing great. So you all have the right idea, basically. You know why a video can be better in certain situations. So how do you use that? How do you take that, the potential of videos, and put it into action, right? Instant connection. I can see someone else writing. Okay, you guys can also calibrate on this whiteboard even after this workshop, and I will share it in the VPPR group as well. So I'll be closing this whiteboard now. Thank you all for the wonderful responses. I love the responses in the chat as well. I understand for those who are on their phone, they cannot use the whiteboard, but I'm glad that you use the chat. So thank you all so much. Now, let's move on and understand how to capture this potential. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, all right. It didn't show me that. Okay. Now, there are three phases of the video creation process, and I'll go a little in depth as to what these phases are. Number one, you have the ideas, brainstorming, and planning process. This includes things like the main idea behind the video. It includes brainstorming what to do about it, and then it includes planning the whole process. Okay? Then we have obviously filming and gathering. Filming, easier said what it means. It just means filming the actual video. And gathering basically means if you basically did what I did for this promo video, I only had a voiceover. So I gathered all the stock video. So that I didn't do any filming, just gathering. And lastly, we have the editing and reviewing process. So first up, this is very important, and I highly recommend to never skip this. Do not skip this phase. It may seem like, oh, it's no big deal, but don't skip it. This will cut your whole editing time down by about 50%, I want to say, because you're making less mistakes and you're concentrating on making your video better in quality. So what is this phase? Let's start off with the idea, brainstorming. What is this video exactly? What is it for? You know, is there a certain theme that you want to go for? Is it for a meeting? Do you want it to be fun and bubbly, or do you just want it to be professional? So you brainstorm that, the more creative aspect of it. This little circle is where you can go wild with creativity as long as you can stay within the brand. So keep that in mind. However, there is plenty of room to be creative, like how I was creative for the promo video. Next, this you should not miss, the key words and key details. So this is something that you should usually talk about in a team. Like I spoke with my district PR team. What is the video going to be about? Tell me some key words. What are the key details? Like when will this be held? Who is this for? Who are we expecting? Things of that nature. When these two come together, that is what you need to continue on to the planning phase. Okay? Now, let's start with key details because this is the easiest part. It's by far the easiest part. It includes things like purpose. What is the purpose of the video? The aim, which is a bit different from purpose. What do you aim to do with the video? Do you wish to attract new members? Do you wish to attract guests? Do you wish to attract audience or attendees for a workshop, for example? And of course, we can't forget the target audience. Someone like me, for example, may prefer reels that are jumpy and, or at least doesn't have to be jumpy, but it has to be short and professional because I'm always on reels or on TikTok. That's just how we consume content nowadays and how my generation consumes content. However, if you were trying to pull in my dad, for example, who's a scientist and who doesn't like all the fluff, he would prefer a longer form video, maybe a video on Facebook, for example, that is square shaped, that is more than a minute long, or maybe one on YouTube that is more information based and a little slower. So choose wisely. Next, we have the video length, and this is important because on Reels, the longest that you can go is 1 minute 30 seconds. On TikTok is about 3 minutes. And if you're just posting on the Instagram feed, I'm pretty sure it's no longer an option, but before it was just 15 seconds long. No, sorry, a minute long. So it's no longer an option. All your videos on Instagram are now Reels. Okay. And on YouTube, it would be best to have it longer than, say, 5 minutes, just so that you can get some good engagement. Next, your video format. This links back to your video length, right? So where do you want to post it? It depends, okay? And video length also important depending on what you're doing. If it's just a promo video, you have to keep it short and sweet. If not, promo video, you have to keep it short and sweet. But if it's something more in-depth, like a workshop, you can check out all our workshops on District 20 Toastmasters on YouTube. For example, we do have some great workshops there. We have uploaded full versions and also short versions. So that's a good guide on what do I mean by video length and video format. Next, we have key descriptive words. So for Toastmasters, it would be friendly, kind, professional, things of that nature. But this can depend on who exactly, like what exactly is the event. For example, if the event is a division contest, for example, division speech contest, key descriptive words might be showcasing the contestants, showcasing the contest masters, for example, showcasing that it'll be a big event, showcasing that friends and family should attend. So those are key descriptive words, all right? So professional, exciting, engaging, things of that nature. And this, please don't forget this, deadlines. Mark your deadlines so that you plan well ahead. Now, there's also the ideas part. Are you doing a voiceover? Or is someone going to speak in your videos? I'm seeing the questions. Don't worry, our MC will be collating them. Are you doing a voiceover like I did for the promo video? Or are you specifically filming someone doing a video? Okay. Next, do you need to film anything? Is there anything that you would have to actually film? This is very important because you may need to set up a filming date if you do have to film anything. Next, do you have any references? When I was district designer last year, I had to ask my district PRM, who was DTM Alan Paul at the time, to give me references. Or else, honestly, you won't really understand what the other person is asking for. They have a mental image in their head, and it would be best for them to show you what their mental image looks like. So references is very good. So if you're part of a VPPR group, be sure to ask your VPPR, what do you mean? Give me references so that I can understand what kind of style you're going for. Then this is just notes, jotting down any other notes if you have any other ideas. Okay, so are you ready, chat? Let's do this. We're going to make a mock video. And I'm going to ask our MC to basically be my quote unquote VPPR, for example. I am his video editor and he is the VPPR. This is just to show, what it would look like. So just a second. Is our MC in the room, or shall I ask Toastmaster Shiraz? Toastmaster Sairam, are you in the room? Toastmaster Shiraz? Hello? Okay. Yes, Toastmaster Shiraz is in the room. Great. All right. So Toastmaster Shiraz, please feel free to unmute and chat. Let's get ready. Come on, guys. You're going to help me do this. We are going to make, or rather create a video for our VPPR Shiraz. We're all in a club now, and we're all part of the VPPR subcommittee, and he's our VPPR. Okay. So this is how we do it. All right. So Shiraz, tell us, your subcommittee members, what exactly is your video all about? Is it for a meeting?
Yes, for a meeting.
For a meeting. Okay.
Right.
So chat, yes, for a meeting. Now, what do you want to do for this video? Do you want to promote the meeting? Do you want to bring guests?
I want more guests to come in.
You want more guests to come in. Okay. So we have a purpose and we have an aim. So everyone, tell me, what is the purpose of this video according to, from what we have gleaned from Shiraz? He says he wants to make a video for a meeting, promoting it, and he wants to invite more guests, which would mean the purpose of this video would be to show his meeting. Purpose is meeting, okay. Theme, oh, look, Toastmaster Laika has a very good question. What is the theme, Toastmaster Sairam? Toastmaster Shiraz. Give us any theme, it's fine.
Challenge yourself.
Challenge yourself, okay. Challenge
Our DD has
yourself.
got a good title, Why to Attend.
Why to attend? We'll get to the title later. That is way far ahead. Okay, why to challenge yourself. Okay, flavor of club meetings, to advertise, to invite guests. So to invite guests would be the main aim. The purpose would be the meeting. Yes, so Toastmaster DTM Priscilla was right, and also Toastmaster Fabian to show about the meeting. So I would write, if he was my VPPR, to advertise and showcase the meeting, challenge yourself. Okay, and the aim is to bring in more guests. Okay, to bring in more guests. Now we know we have to aim for non-Toastmasters, which would mean our target audience would be, show them how to register and get the access. Yes, target audience would be non-Toastmasters, correct. So now you have the target audience. as well. I'm seeing some lovely captions. Members and non-Toastmasters. I love that DTM Priscilla added that as well. So what do you do when you have two different target audiences? Because let's be honest, Toastmasters expect
Make two
something
different
different.
videos.
I love that. If it is possible for you to make two different videos, yes, go for it. If not, then we can stick to one, right? To create awareness about Toastmasters, that's also there, but this is specifically a meeting, right? So now we
2
have
minutes.
target audience. We will keep members as well. Let's not forget them. I don't want any members here to get upset. We always keep you in mind, don't worry. Now, video length.
2
We're
minutes.
trying to 2 minutes. Okay, so Toastmaster DT Murli has said 2 minutes. But what about you all? What do you think would be an ideal video length for people to bring
30
in
seconds to 2
guests?
minutes. Yeah.
30 seconds to 2 minutes. Okay, I'm just adding this in since DT and Priscilla brought it up. 1 minute, 1 minute. Okay, lots of 1 minutes. 15 seconds to 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 1.5. Okay. I love that you're all catching on to that. Like table topics, that's great. If for dignity, maybe 5 minutes. Thank you, Didi. So let's say 1 minute tops so that we can post it on Reels, for example. We can post it on YouTube Shorts. Okay. Which brings us to the platform. Where do you want to post?
All modes.
Okay. So DTM Murli has said he wants to post it everywhere. All right. Instagram. Okay. Where would you like to post a 1 minute long video aiming to trim our video later, aiming to bring in more guests? Not TikTok, Russian TV. Guys, let's be serious. TikTok. Okay.
Instagram.
Instagram. All right. Let's okay. Twitter. Wow. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of different, all media except YouTube. LinkedIn. All right. I would want the TikTok as they are an easy target. FB, Insta, and YouTube Shorts. Okay. So since we're all in the subcommittee of our VPPR Shiraz, when you have things like this, when a whole team is bit everywhere, you know, we will ask the VPPR himself, what is your final say? You would have to do this if you have to make a video for someone else.
1 minute video is long for Instagram, I feel.
You know, as a reel, it would work.
Little.
Yes.
So I feel that my audience are more into Instagram. So I would like to go Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. Instagram and Facebook. All right. So our VPPR has said Instagram and Facebook. Now, obviously, if you are the VPPR, you do not have to ask anyone. Obviously, you would want to ask the president for approval, but it's up to you where you want to post it, right? So we are taking VPPR's words. We'll put it on Instagram and Facebook. Now we have some key descriptive words. We've been talking about this imaginary video. What are the key words for it? Key words, and this is very important.
Public
key descriptive
speaking
words.
or communication.
Communication, okay. I would also like to see some keywords from the chat. Development of skills, all right. Confidence, okay, because challenge yourself, I love that, okay. Build yourself, personal development, transformation, all these lovely, lovely words. Networking, self-learning, get your ability out of self-paced learning, all of the above.
Our PR said kindling or something you were saying.
Yes. Challenge yourself, I think.
Challenge.
Transform.
Beat me if you can. Wow, Didi.
Yeah. Okay, transformation, self-development.
Where soulmate are met.
Communication. Okay, I see a lot of beautiful answers, so I'm going to put etc. However, if you were doing this yourself, I would put about 5 key descriptive words and leave it at that. But because I don't want to run over my line limit, I'll just keep it here. Deadline. VPPR Shiraz, when do you want this video by?
5th day, 5th September. We have 3 days after that we have meeting, isn't it, Shiraz?
Yeah.
My meeting is on 13th, so I want at least 3 days before to post it.
All right,
10th.
so 13th September needs 3 days before. Capitalize so that we can have this all ready. Okay, so we have written down the key details. Now we've gotten rid of the easy part and where we will stop bothering our amazing VPPR for information. Now we don't need him. He's free, feel free to leave and he can do whatever he wants. Now what we're going to do is move on to the next process. Okay, the next process is the creative bit. Can you see my screen? Yes, you can. All right. Yes, let's not forget voiceover or talking head. I'm going to just say this with audio. Green, okay. Voiceover or talking head, everyone? Which one would you want to do?
Voiceover.
Voiceover, okay. Voiceover with perhaps meeting videos to
Yeah, could be, yes.
talking. Okay, we have talking head as well. So, okay, all right. So if you're doing talking head, you would need to film it. Difference is that voiceover, you just record your own voice and that's it. Whereas talking head is basically someone is speaking into a camera, like how I'm doing. So if you would have to film something, then you would have to do talking head. I see lots of this thing, more organic if you do talking head. That's true. So yeah, you
Previous
have
meeting,
to understand.
need to fill in
Previous
anything.
meeting, yes, you can do that if you just want to do a voiceover, right? So now that that is done, let's move on to the exciting part that I personally like. It's an interactive activity where we go through Pinterest. Now, I would like to do that, but I'm sure you also all want to see what we have in store for the video editing bit. So I will just show you examples of what I mean for this. This is the creative aspect. Go on to Pinterest, okay, and make a free account of your choice. Like just make either with your email and password or Facebook or Gmail.
What is that? What is that company name?
Pinterest.
App? Spell that in the chat room.
Yes, Pinterest. So this will be your bread and butter when it comes to finding inspiration. Trust me on that. Any good VPPR or designer knows. Just go on there. You will find limitless inspiration. And this is how you will stay focused and motivated to keep going. So when I say mood boards, it's quite literally mood boards. It sets the mood for a certain thing. And the main reason why I like to include this is so that you as the editor can visualize how your video is going to look. How is it going to be filmed? What is going to be the tone of the video? What is going to be the background music, for example? How are you going to script it? How are you going to light up the room? Are you going to do it a little dimly? Or how are you going to make the story of the video? Mood boards definitely help. And how I generally do it is that I will actually show you so that this can be easy for everyone. Let me pull up my Pinterest, and I will do a quick walkthrough. Okay. You can see this is my Pinterest. I've made a new one just for this video. So let's say I want to create a mood board for this hypothetical video from Toastmasters Shiraz. He said he wants to bring in new members, but he also gave us a theme, challenge yourself. So let's start there. Challenge yourself. What do we get? We get a good quote. We get constantly challenge yourself in this bold font. I like the look of that. So what do I do in order to make a mood board, at least just on Pinterest? I save it. Okay. And when you save it, right, it goes straight to your profile. Okay. But what you can do is go to your profile here. Okay. And then you see this little plus sign over here? Under this plus sign, there's a board option. This is how you make your mood board. So I will just put the name of the video, the name of the theme here, challenge yourself. I'll keep this board a secret. I don't want anyone else to know. Right? And now you have made your board, and you can see based on what you've titled your board, you will already see suggestions. Right? You will already see suggestions. I see a very good quote here, so I will save that. Okay. Then we will try, how will the mood look? Let's go for some professional pictures, for example. Okay, I see some beautiful, they're all women. I don't know why. Okay, so good lighting. I see that this woman has really good lighting, so I have saved that. Yes, I have a board. Save it. Okay, so you save it to the board and you keep going. Let's try, what I usually do is that I put quotes, challenge yourself quotes maybe, because those tend to have quite a bit of inspiration in them. So if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. Comfort is your biggest trap, blah, blah, blah. And then once you're done and you want to, see your mood board, it's all here. So whenever you're making your video, you can come back to this and see what exactly am I inspired by, right? So what exactly am I inspired by? And you can come here to get some inspiration to keep you going. Now, yes, even in professional settings, we do use mood boards. And in fact, for my final year in high school, when I was doing theater, I had to do a mood board for a play. So this is how you would do it even in like a professional setting. This is the example. So I've put in, this was graded, okay? So you don't have to do anything like this, but you can see where I'm coming from. You can be as, out there as you want to be. I've used quotes, I've put other materials, and it's basically something for you to gain inspiration, gain some creativity from. It won't actually come in the video. It's just for you to visualize the video. So go wild. You can go crazy with this. Now, I already did this. We already followed along with the Pinterest mood board. So let's move on to the must to-dos when we're planning the whole process. Keep in mind, you have to remember the branding, disclaimer, and credits. Okay? These are main things that you cannot get rid of. Next, how is the video going to look like? Just outline it very sparsely. What is the skeleton of your video? So start with, how is it going to start? What is going to happen after the intro? If there is a voiceover, what is that going to contain? As in, what is your script? What is the content? If you're filming, what exactly are you filming? Are you going to film a meeting? Or are you just going to film someone speaking about, oh, there's this meeting coming up? Or will you put up like a little act? So in the case for Shiraz, you can brainstorm in the chat. How will you show, challenge yourself? One thing that comes to mind is someone holding up a trophy and being like, yes, I've challenged myself. And then someone else holding up like a best speaker ribbon and saying, yes, I've challenged myself. And someone doing an icebreaker and saying, yes, I've challenged myself. So you see how all of these showcase Toastmasters, right? They all promote Toastmasters, but at the same time, it goes along with the theme and it's also creative, right? So think about it like that. You can be creative, you can be as creative as you want. Next, how will you end the video? This is also very important. Don't have a soggy ending, as I like to call it. Leave with a bang. So this is for you to be as descriptive as possible, because if it is difficult to visualize, it's going to be very difficult in the editing process. But if you know exactly how your video is going to look, you can skip it, just put bullet points. It's fine. Now, the filming plan. If you are filming, when will you film? Who will you film with? Who is going to be in the video? Have they consented to being in the video? Where is the location? And other arrangements. Remember to break these things down so that it's easier for you. Next, if you are doing a voiceover, right, make sure you have a script. Trust me, you will have so many takes where you're just stumbling on your words. So have a script ready, practice a few times before you start the voiceover. And if you have any other notes of interest as well. Next, this is important, don't forget this. What kind of equipment are you using? Are you going to be using a phone, a camera, microphone? What else? Any props? Anything for lighting? So note those down. And of course, is there going to be a background music in place in the in the video? Do you have any specific genres? So write that all down. Okay, just small bullet points so that during the filming process, the gathering process, and the editing process, things will be so much easier because you've planned everything out. If any of you have been to university recently, you would know that if you outline your essay, you're more likely to get a high score. AKA, you're more likely to have a cohesive essay that actually sounds good and not gibberish, which I learned maybe a little too late. Same goes for video editing. All right, so I've just put this in. We're not going to do this because there is some interesting things that I have to show you. But yes, you will be getting a workbook of all of this. So don't worry, you don't have to take screenshots. I will send a PDF later. Now it's filming and gathering. So what do? This is the heart of any video creation process. First up, your equipment. If you have, for camera, if you have a phone, any recent phone will work. And by recent, I mean like from 2016. Trust me, it will work as long as it can shoot in HD, aka 720p or 180p. But if you have a DSLR camera, go for it. But do not film with a webcam. Any kind of webcam, do not film with it. Okay? Right? Next, what kind of microphone will you be using? Currently, I'm using a lavalier mic. But when I first started off with more professional videos, I actually use my phone. I just turned it upside down. This is the mic. I don't know if you can see it. This is the mic part, and I would use that as a mic. And the audio, trust me, was crystal clear. So if you have another phone lying around, or if you have someone else's phone that you can use it, because I promise you the mic is good on those phones. So use the voice recorder on your voice recorder app on your phone, and use the mic on your phone. If you don't have a lavalier mic, you don't need to. Next, acoustics. This is just like a small tidbit. Make sure that you can reduce the room noise as much as possible. So you can add curtains, close the door, turn off the AC. This is just to make sure that there's not much of an echo, and so that your audio can sound nice and crisp and clear. This is especially true if you're doing a talking head video. You don't want it to echo, and you don't want, something else happening outside to be captured, right? Next, your lighting. Make sure the room is nicely lit, but also make sure not to shine the light directly on the speaker's face. This is very crucial, and I will tell you guides for it later. Miscellaneous are prompters, scripts, props, tripods, etc. So just note all of these down, because I'm showing you a bunch of guide videos. These I felt were the best when it comes to explaining how to film on your phone. These were the best in explaining what microphones there are, and if you would like to use other types. Next, guide videos for lighting. There are two that I would recommend if you're using artificial light, and one that I actually do recommend above artificial lighting is natural lighting. If you can use natural lighting, do it. The sun is the best light you can get for free, unless you're doing this at night. Do not film at night, try to film in the morning. So, what if you want to do a voiceover? Then what? Someone mentioned that you can use meeting videos. And yes, you can. You can use original video reels and photos from meetings, but please make sure that whoever is being featured has given their consent, aka they know that you're filming, aka they know that this might be used for anything related to PR. And the same thing goes for photos. Okay. Now, for stock videos and photos, there are several websites that have a large library of royalty-free or Creative Commons stock photos and videos. So feel free to gather those that fit your video. Music, same thing. But keep in mind, the license has to be either royalty-free or free for commercial or personal use, or Creative Commons, things like that. So make sure the license specifies that it's free to use. And we cannot forget that Toastmasters International themselves have professional photographs for you to use. So use them. So I have also compiled many websites for free stock pictures and videos. First up is Canva. Next is Pixabay. Next is Unsplash, Pexels.com, freepik.com, and of course, Toastmasters. These are for free stock pictures and videos. And personally, I love Pexels and I've been using them since forever. Next up, for music and background music, Pixabay. This is Bensound and SoundCloud. Now, don't worry, I will send you the PDF with links. All of them are linked, so don't worry. We have reviewing and editing. Editing and reviewing, sorry. You might be wondering, which software do I use? Now, you have to understand this. Most software have similar interfaces. What may be different is the ease of use, the price point, what do they offer, how much advanced features there are, things like that. But most software tend to be very similar in their interfaces. And this is so that it makes it 10 times easier to get a customer who's using software A to jump ship and go to software B. So if you can edit on one software, it will be pretty okay to learn another software. It might take a little bit of time, but if you've done it once, it'll be much easier when you're when you're jumping ship to another better software. So first up, we have Premiere Pro, which is the most popular video editing software there is, and I'll be explaining that. We have Canva, obviously. This is DaVinci Resolve. We also have CapCut, a very, very popular mobile video editing software. And we have WonderShare FILMORA, which I use. So first up, Adobe Premiere Pro, as you can tell, is Premiere. It is not free at all, but it is the biggest video editing software on the market. So if you do want to try it out, there are plenty of guide videos out there. Next up, we have Canva, which here in our district, we already have district leaders and district amazing personalities who have already created videos about editing with Canva. So it's very user-friendly, very easy for beginners. So you can go check them out. I'll also link these later. DaVinci Resolve is what I consider a pro video editor for the price of literally free. It is easy to use, yes, but you do need some technical knowledge because there's quite a few advanced features. However, because it's free and it's such a good software, I do recommend it if you're willing to try it out. Next up, we have my personal favorite. Oh, this is not Canva, this is CapCut. My personal favorite is CapCut, and it's a mobile-based video editor, and it's also completely free. It's very powerful, completely free, and it's free on your phone. So you can check that out as well. And next up, I use WonderShare FILMORA because although now they have a subscription model, back in 2017 when I got it, they had a lifetime model. So it was just for $70. It was Black Friday, so I bought it then, and I still have it now. But if you are looking for a very easy to use, but also semi-professional video editor, this is one of those options with a lot of templates and a lot of presets. So you get a lot for a subscription, basically. So I'm just going to put this on the screen for what you would need to consider when you're editing. Make sure you've selected the right settings for your project. And first thing, take all of what you have, like video clips and voiceovers, and cut out the empty bits, cut out the mistakes, cut out the fluff so that you have one clean video. Okay? Next, add text where you see necessary. Titles, subtitles, emphasis, transitions, information such as disclaimer and credits, put that in. Next, if there is any background music, please remember to do this. Adjust the volume so that it doesn't drown out the audio. So either what you can do is that you can adjust the video's audio to be much higher. So if you're doing a talking head, make sure that that audio is higher. But the easier way to do it is just to make sure your background music's audio is much lower, right? So you need to make sure that you can hear the person talking, but also that the background music is just right, that it doesn't feel like someone is whispering in your ear. Other assets include like shapes and such. Please use them cautiously because they shouldn't seem like illustrations, but they're free to use. You can use them. Next, do not forget this. Put it in your task list. Like put it there, put it down, put it there. Put a big red sign saying disclaimers and credits, because if you want to stay brand compliant, that has to be there. Put the disclaimers and credits so that you don't infringe on anyone's intellectual property, especially Toastmasters. So don't forget that. That is very key. So what do I mean by disclaimer and credits? This is from the brand manual. Okay, it shows the video guidelines and it also gives you the disclaimer word for word. Just copy paste. That's it. That's all you have to do. Next, would you like to see a timeline of, in the chat, would you like to see how my video editing process actually looks? I'll just open up the project file and you can see how it looks from my end. Disclaimer, I have edited for years and years now, so mine looks very intricate, I guess, very complicated. But if you break things down, it'll get easier. But this is something you could learn in the future. So I would just like to show that, and then we will move on to Q&A. All right. In the meantime, I highly recommend sending all the lovely, lovely questions that you have to our wonderful MC. Let me just pull up FILMORA. Okay. All right. I hope you're excited. Okay. Can everyone see my screen? Yes. Okay. Welcome to my workspace. This is how it looks. This is how my personal workspace looks. This is my timeline. This is my project media folder with all the videos here, everything. And if I want to increase the size of the timeline so I can see what objects are there, you can see the second music tab over here is for the background music. The first music tab is my voiceover. And you can see if I scrub through this, how it'll look. And this is how something that is more professional, I suppose, will look. Yeah, Camtasia is also really good. So this is how it may look if you're doing something similar to mine. But this is also, keep in mind that I've been doing this for quite a while. So yours doesn't have to look like this. But you can see how everything is broken down, right? Every little thing is broken down. This is just a 1-minute clip, but you can see subtitle. You can see how I've clipped everything, how I've cut out the fluff, how I've added transitions here. So these are transitions, and these come with FILMORA. Okay, and then you can see how I've added certain videos. And most importantly, what I've done, I made a video for DPTM, and then I took the disclaimer introduction, and then I've cut it out and just kept it here. This is what I did. And here you can see for credits, this is how the credits look. So please keep in mind that these have to be there. And yeah. So that is filming and editing, sorry. And editing and reviewing is just make sure you review first in your software, then export it and review again. I had to export thrice because I had glitches. So export, see again, and then you can hand it off to whoever needs it, and that's it. So thank you very much. MC, take it away from me.